Boys and girls, we're running it back. Let's fix an old piece of EA furniture. In the base game of The Sims, you can find the mega bookcase. At first glance, it looks pretty fine, but if you put it next to the coffee table that we made last week, suddenly things seem a little bit out of place. The proportions seem fine, but the edges are a little bit sharp. And I swear, once you see these things, you can't unsee them. So this week, I'm rebuilding it from scratch. Not just to fix it, but to make it belong. I wanted to rebuild this in a way that wasn't just to my specifications, but was actually more useful to every single player out there. Now, I know the Sims community are absolutely feral for more decoration slots. The original mesh had a pitiful 1 medium slot right on the top. That ain't gonna cut it round here. So with all that in mind, a brand new mesh, new high resolution textures, and more slots that you know what to do with, let me show you how I made it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make this new mega bookcase. Reimagined, I think, is what I'm calling this. Like any Sims 4 CC, we're starting in Sims 4 Studios, selecting our base mesh, which was the mega bookcase right there. We're going to export that. It gives us a blend file. We're playing around with the old mesh. This is the one that EA and the Sims have kind of made. I'm going to start using this as my base. I'm going to set up a cube next to it and start to finagle some form of shape and some form, a silhouette, if you will, a block out. You'll see it's kind of transparent here in some places. That's because the normals, i.e. the inside and or outside faces, are not in the correct direction. In 3D, there is a face which is outwards and a face which is inwards. You want the outwards facing outwards and the inside faces being on the inside. It's strange like that. We've got our base shape down here. I'm going for a 3-tiered kind of approach with this bottom cabinet slash cupboard section. I ballsed up some of the geometry here along the way, but I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup, as you can see here. Okay, so I want to introduce some more roundness to this, and I'm doing that by rounding off the top edge of every single shelf there and the top corners of the supporting sections. Add a bit of an indent on the side there as well to add a little bit more contrast. I felt it was looking a little bit bland without it, so I decided to add this extra face to give it a little bit more of an interesting touch. Working on the doors here, I had a bit of issue with this inset face here. It was giving me a little bit of the runaround, but I soon tidied that up. And we ended up with these rectangular, rounded kind of shapes here. We haven't got any door handles yet, but we'll soon change that. I went back to the sides thinking, I wonder if I can make this any better. And I was trying to inset some little faces there, but I didn't like the look of them, so I yoked those out of existence. Making a book here, really simple mesh, just kind of getting it together, changing the material which I kind of view my production in at the time just makes me, I don't know, sometimes switching it up really does help. The book is just a simple cube with an inset face in the middle and rounded on one side. I will take this one book and I'm literally like duplicating it and scaling it in different ways, tilting it, rotating it, and making all sorts of just different shapes. Now, I envisioned this shelf to have a lot more slots than the original. An effect of that is there wasn't going to be as many pre-placed books on it. Just a little bit more to give it a little bit of spice. There are those handles I'm talking about. It's not actually a handle. I went for like this smooth inset kind of vibe. I really like it. Really, really like how this turned out in the end. Doing a quick little bit of UV work here, marking our seams so we can cut the mesh up, lay it flat nicely for texturing. A few extra bits and pieces, and there we are, ready to move on to our texturing phase. All right, so we're in Substance Painter 3D here for our texturing. I initially baked the mesh to find a few issues on the back there. You see the grain of the wood, which I used on the last coffee table. Watch that video if you haven't already. There was some weirdness going on there. It's like the grain had been split, but then moved the other way, like rotated 90 degrees. This is just a common UV error. Pretty much your boy dropped the ball. So this first actual part of the texturing phase was me going back, changing the UVs, trying to tidy that up. It's still fucked, Joe. What are we doing? Oh, look at that. You hide some of the back faces and I left some extra little pieces of geometry in there. So I'm going through, removing some of the faces in there. I will re-unwrap this. You see, it's kind of like curving in like that. Wasn't entirely sure why. Re-unwrapped it, repacked all the UVs together, and now we're actually going to start texturing. We hit the little bake, hit that croissant, and look at that. She's looking fine. Wood texture all over the place. Again, consistent with the coffee table. So we have got our base wood down there, and I absolutely love it. Now we're going to go through and add 3 or 4 4 different book colors by adding some base colors, making the roughness 100% so it doesn't reflect any light. And we're going to select a few of the books to be that particular color. We're just doing the outsides of the book, sort of covers, I guess you could say for now. We're going to go back and add a pages material in a second here. I wasn't initially happy with the color choices of the book, so I'm just going back and changing them a little bit to make them more neutral, muted, more my kind of vibe, and more in line, I guess, with the rest of the pack that I'll be making here if I decide to make a full pack. Pages have been masked out there. We have sorted all that out, which looks absolutely lovely. I felt all the wood being one color was just a touch flat, so I duplicated the layer, darkened the material a little bit in some areas, and made those doors and the cross beams, the actual shelves themselves, a slightly different color wood. Last but certainly not least, we are headed back into Sims 4 Studio to assemble our mesh and textures all together. I'm going through the different levels of LOD right here and adding my mesh to 0, 1, and 2, which is very cool. I forgot to make a little shadow mesh, and what I did here is export the old shadow mesh, copy my mesh, which I made the new bookshelf, put it in that blend file, and put it over the top. Now, this is what the Simmers are all about, the motherfucking slots. Look at this. These blue ones represent medium-sized slots. The old one had 1 medium slot in that top left position where I've got the books. Mine, far more slots. And later on, I take these medium slots and I actually start layering small ones on top. There you go. You see the green going inside the blue? They are small slots there. Okay, so the beauty of that is you can put a small or a medium in those positions, which I think is it's necessary. You can't be without slots. Am I right, boys? The only thing left to do now is to get our package file, put it in our mods folder, open up the Sims and see how we get on. Alrighty, so we're now in the Sims. I'm now looking for my my new mesh, the Mega Bookcase Reimagined, and here it is. It's a 2 slot, a little 1x2, exactly in line with the original. I mean, that wasn't really going to change, was it? You can see I'm kind of struggling here. I had the Sims 3 camera on for some reason, and your boy did not play the Sims 3. I did play Castaway, though, on the PS2. Very good, Sims 2 Castaway. Yeah, so we've put it in world now. You can see the lighting looks absolutely wonderful. It's wood. There's not supposed to be reflections, EA. There's not supposed to be that much reflection on wood, unless you're glossing, but I doubt a Sim is glossing every single piece of furniture. Put that down, looks absolutely wonderful. Putting a little bit of move objects on as well, so we can put this in a better position against that wall. Don't judge the room, I'm not the best at this. Switching over here, I just put it on the other wall for some reason, not entirely sure, but now we're gonna go through and test the slots. This is what dreams are made of, people. Little plant down the bottom, I think. Yep, there you go, that's a small slot. That's a small and or a medium. Mugs, yeah, whatever, put them on there. I wish I had moved this light, man. What am I doing? Vase up top? Why not? You got the height? Nah, fuck the vase, actually. But look at this, these 2 little shoebox things. Oh, look how they line up on there. Beautiful. Towels in the living room? Why not? Rotate it, get it right? I don't know, man. You do what you want. These are your slots now, boys and girls. Your slots, I absolutely love it. Another little tray, but as you can see, the slots are working fantastically. The Sims by default does not give you this much customability. I know you can raise stuff up to put stuff on there, but it's not the same as having something snapped directly in place exactly where you want it to be, is it? And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, a brand new bookcase. The Mega Bookcase has been revamped for 2025, along with its coffee table cousin. Check that video out if you haven't already. Thank you again, boys and girls. If you enjoyed, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. And let me know what you want to see next. If there's a mesh that you think is in need of a makeover, please let me know down in the comment section. Thank you again, boys and girls, for being here. I really do appreciate it. Hope you had a good time, and I will see you very, very soon.